Thank you for joining me this afternoon. This will be part 3 of our teaching that we're doing in 1 Thessalonians. We're reading it actually now in chapter 4, and I want to go back and start reading at verse 13. Paul's writing here, and he says, "But I would not have you to be ignorant." Did you know Yahuah doesn't want you and I to be ignorant? You know, to be ignorant is not a bad word to use. I know some people might be offended when you would call them ignorant, but you know, we're ignorant about a lot of things. I'm ignorant about how to fly an airplane, but it doesn't offend me if somebody calls me ignorant about that aspect of my life, because I have no desire to learn how to fly an airplane. But you know, if they were to call me stupid, then that might offend me. But to be ignorant of something means that you just don't have the knowledge, you just don't have the information that you properly need. And unfortunately, there's a lot of people in the body of Mashiach who do not have the right information, or they don't have enough information. Now, we're always learning. I don't know it all. I know that I've been studying the scriptures for many years and spent thousands of hours studying the scriptures. But the more that I do know, the more that I find out I don't know. And so, you know, we're always going to be constantly seeking after the truth. I like to compare it to, like, I've shared this with another friend of mine, that it's like putting a jigsaw puzzle together. The scriptures, to actually get the revelation that's in the Word here, in the Tanakh, in the New Testament, it's like putting a jigsaw puzzle together. You know, we find a piece, and we find that these two pieces would fit together, and they begin to paint a picture. And the word of Yahuah begins to paint a picture to us of not only of the plan of redemption, but also paints a picture to us of Yahuah, of His love for us. It begins to paint a picture of, of what events are to come in the future, of prophecy. And unfortunately, though, sometimes, you know, we might get a piece of the puzzle and put it in a place that will not fit, and then we become discouraged, or we try to sometimes make it the pieces fit our theology sometimes, or the way that we think it should work out, or maybe because of the way we've been taught in the past, whether it was right or wrong. You know, we try to make make everything, you know, all these pieces fit according to that theology. So, you know, with that in mind, if we search the scripture says, "Study to show yourself approved unto Yahuah," then we can approach the scripture, you know, by not having it say a prejudice in the way that we think about things, or because our church or our assembly or I was taught this way, then you're opposed to hearing anything else that's, say, different or contrary to what you may have believed in the past. I know that over the years, you know, that I've come in my understanding to realize that, I'll give you an example. When I first started studying about the Yahuah's name, the Creator's name, and I've been studying about 5 years about the name of Yahuah, and about the language of that it was written in Paleo Hebrew. And you know, my first understanding was that His name was Yahweh. Well, you know, I was like a lot of people who start out, and that's the first information that a lot of times you're picking up from other people, that's how His name is pronounced. But as I began to study this, to stay at it, and be willing really to change if I found that wasn't accurate, then I really became to understand that His name is pronounced Yahuah, and that is actually, I'm 100% convinced that that's the way His name is pronounced. And we're not going to get into that teaching, but anyway, I'm just using that as an example, is that no matter what kind of preconceived ideas that you may have, say the rapture or the tribulation period, that you go in and study the scriptures. And if you'll listen to all the sessions that we're going to be doing on this, I'm going to share with you what I believe to be the truth, what Yahuah is wanting us to know, and of course, this is what I conceive, and I will base what I believe upon what the Scripture says, and not what I think. If I have an opinion about something, then I'll tell you, well, I'm not sure about this, but this is my opinion. But if the Scripture says something and it's quite evident that it's saying this, then I'll tell you this is what the Scripture says, and whether you believe that or not, of course, that's your responsibility, not mine. But with that said, I just want to encourage you to listen in on. We've got a lot to say about the future events that we're about to enter into. We're about to enter into this time frame of the tribulation period. That's not a good time, but it's a good time for those. If you have been born of the Ruach HaKodesh, if you are part of the body of the Mashiach, that he said that he was built his church upon, according to Matthew 16:13, that you can be comforted by knowing that you will not have to endure this 7-year period of Yahuah's wrath that's about to come on the earth. And we're going to get into all the scriptures and show you and prove to you that we have not been appointed to wrath, to the Yahuah's wrath, but to obtain deliverance and salvation through Yahushua HaMashiach. Thank you for your time this evening, and thank you for all your comments and your support. I really do appreciate that. Sometimes I don't reply back to a lot of you as I need to. Sometimes I actually just forget, or I just get busy. But I do know that you're commenting. I appreciate all your comments, all your likes. Please continue to share this with your friends. It really encourages me to hear that you're being blessed, that you're receiving this, because I'm not doing this for me. I'm doing it for not only for you, but I'm doing it because Yahuah. I'm doing it to please Him, because He has called me to do what I do as far as teaching and preaching His Word. Thank you for your prayers and support. Thank you for praying for me, because I desire and covet your prayers to be lifted up in your prayers as well. Thank you. Until next time, shalom.